Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean. Last time we arrived here and began making our trek through Revorce Tower, the final dungeon in the game. And we got ourselves a whole bunch of treasure. Some of it good, some of it not so much. This time we are going to fight our way up the remaining bit of the tower here and get hit by Ray thousands upon thousands of times while getting petrified and paralyzed by the various enemies around here, which of course happened off screen while I was doing all my backtracking to get back to that door. Do note that that door that I started this video in front of, I actually unlocked that at the tail end of the last video, so that's how I got through there. If that door is locked for you, that is why it is locked. I believe the right path is where we need to go, so let's head up the left path first. And up here, I think there's just some more treasure. Gotta be careful with this guy here, this black eyeball, because he really, even though he never seemed to petrify me in my last run through here, this time he's been petrifying me way too much. Multiple times in the same battle, basically get perma-stoned, which reminds me of somebody in real life. Anyway, let's make our way through here. I don't think there's too much to run into or miss around here. Pretty much go into each area, pick up this, pick up that, look at the phone. Phone interruptions, don't you love them? Anyway, I think I was about to check dual suit, which I believe all the characters that I would care to have dual suits, so no, you are not using one yet. Might as well give that to you, it's better than what you're using. Yeah, that's pretty much the only two characters that we can really make use of the dual suit. Percy might be able to use it, but I don't know. I never really get that far with her. Only once I've taken her through to the final area. I think this is a dead end with no treasure, which means I probably don't need to come down through here, but oh well. I like to show off as much as the dungeon as I can, as long as I'm not, spending too much time going to dead ends. I don't want to show off every single dead end or every single empty room, but I also, don't want to show none of it, so because, I don't know, I find that when LPers do that, people can get confused, specifically referring to myself, of course, when I'm watching them, because I can get confused very easily. So we picked off what's in there. I think there's only one more treasure up here. Yeah. Be careful with the succubus there, who's of course already dead by the time I get a chance to say it. Yeah, she can deal a lot of damage. I think she's similar to a previous succubus who had the same style of attacks, but this one is a little more powerful. This one can almost one-shot Radix from full HP. Of course, that's while he's wearing the Berserk Ring, which has his defense, but anyway, we finally get some kind of boots that aren't leather for the characters with less points into the light armor wielders. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to give that to Marvel since she's going to be up close taking a little more damage than Millie is, so pretty much that's it for there. I'm going to head back to that previous room that I was in, where I took the left path and said the right path was the way to go forward, and I'll meet you there in a moment. Okay, we're back. I just figured I'd cut off a couple of screens there, save a little bit of time, and make our way to the save point here. First save point we've seen since the start of the area, so probably well due. You've probably been in this dungeon for close to half an hour by the time you've reached this, so it's a decent way in. It's a much longer distance to the save point than in most other dungeons, even the optional dungeons really, except for one of them. We've reached level 49, so everyone's level 49. I'm going to wait until their levels kind of balance out a little more, and then I may end up throwing a different party at the final boss, just for shits and giggles. Let's take a look at skills, make sure we're not gaining too many skill points here. No, we're pretty good at this point. Okay. Anyway, let's make a quick save file here. There we are. And let's move forward. Now, don't remember this part of the dungeon as well as the... Oh, this one. If I recall correctly... Oh, jeez, I hate this one. This puzzle is annoying. This puzzle makes about as much sense as the previous one that was really stupid and made no sense. Can't remember which one that was anymore. I think it was in the Cave of Trials in... Where was that? Vaughn? I think it was in Vaughn. Man, whatever. They always called him Vaughn in the, oh, what was that? In Escaflowne, but I think his name was V-O-N, or maybe it was V-A-N. I don't know. Anyway, basically, there's a series of switches and a series of rooms, and as you can see with these switches, they go from red to yellow. Now, I'm 90% sure on how to do this, so I'm going to go double check real quick so I don't say the wrong thing and confuse the hell out of you guys as well. Well, it's a good thing I checked the strategy there for this puzzle, because I didn't remember it. Okay, think about this group of rooms here. I was in the bottom one, say that's in the middle of the bottom. The one I took was the door to the left, and that's slightly left. This one is slightly more to the left and higher up. If I go right, there'll be a middle room. If I go right from that room, I'll be in the right side, which is basically a mirror of this one. So there's another one down, and it's basically a big circle. So yeah, I don't know how you'd figure this out, but apparently the order of the switches is the left one, basically starting, if you want to look at it from a clock's perspective, you know, that would be, what, 11 o'clock or whatever, and then we'll go down to 9, go down to the center one, down to 6, and then head up the right side. Now, I don't know why this puzzle is the way it is. I don't know if it's ever explained somewhere in the game. I don't remember seeing it. But if we press all these switches, we run into a battle. No. Let's go after the paralyzing guy, or the petrifying guy. I don't know why I have problems with those words. I also have problems being petrified! Stop that! Okay. Finished off with that battle. So, if I've done this right... Aha! This door is open. If you did not do this in the right order, this door is locked. And no one really explains how to get through there. Ah! The music's changed, and it looks like the sky is shaking. I have a feeling that's not a good sign. And we have, of course, another battle. Ow. Okay, I would like to actually do a skill, please. Stop interrupting every attack I make. Thank you. Stupid succubus with their... I don't even know what those things are. They're like little poles. Maybe they're tentacles. They keep coming up from the ground if you watch Radix's sprite. They'll come up from the ground even when she's not attacking me. And it'll hit my shield, and it'll stop my tech from going through. I tried to use a tech like, 6 times in that battle, and I don't think I used one. Anyway, this is the final save point in the area. So, it's also the final one in the game, actually, because there are no save points in the bonus dungeon. So, anyway, I'm going to go and check my equipment, my setup, skills, etc., and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to, but I couldn't resist the temptation. Yes, we're going to take on the final boss with 3 mages, and Radix is going to do the majority of the heavy lifting. Speaking of heavy lifting, I have removed the Berserk Ring from him because after testing, it's just not a good idea. We'll just leave it at that for now. So I gave him the Magic Mist, which isn't going to help during that fight, but it's going to help me run away from fights up to, the final boss. Because there's a little bit of a walk, but not much. As far as equipment goes, Renixis, Fairy Ring, Stun Guard, pretty much everything else that he had before. Pretty much everything's standard at this point. Stun half on Joshua, mainly just so they take less stun time, so they can get back to casting faster if possible. Millie set up the same way she was before with the Misty Symbol and the Fairy Ring. As far as spells, I have turned off a bunch of stuff. She's pretty much the same as before. As far as Joshua goes, yes, he learns Meteor Swarm as well. And so I've put that on, and his healing spells, except for heal, and nothing else. With you, we just have Meteor Swarm. So yeah, I will show Renixis I don't want to use him in pretty much any fight, but I'll throw him into the final boss battle. Why not? Anyway, with that being said, let's head up there. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get today, so we'll see how far I get. Don't think I'll be able to cram the entirety of the ending into this, so maybe another episode, maybe I'll record straight through and just, you know, make a random cut in the middle at a decent spot. A wrench? No, we don't deal with wrenches. I'm trying to think of a game where somebody attacks with a wrench. I guess technically in some translations of Final Fantasy IV, Sid attacks with a wrench. I don't know. It looks like a wrench in the animation anyway. Yeah, you do seem pretty evil. And how are they causing suffering? I don't think there's supposed to be any music here. I really don't. Force? That's not how it worked on Star Trek. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, that doesn't really sound like any federation. At least not a, you know, a federation of planets. I'm trying to think of a federation where they do stuff like that in like a game or an anime or something. Not coming to mind right now, but oh well. Now, well, no, I'll hold off. Yeah, he calls it a twisted interpretation. I think it would have been an interesting twist to the plot if they had decided to, cite some instances where the Federation had done this. Maybe, because of course the Federation has to be the good guys, they would, have it be interpreted in a different way because say that they did that, but they were only doing that to save, some other species from being crushed by the species that they're, throwing weapons in their face. I just think it would have been interesting, unlike, kind of what they've done here, where they just have somebody who's kind of been programmed in a way that makes them interpret even, normal everyday things that you would expect them to do that aren't really all that evil as completely hideous and unforgivable. Well, they haven't really invaded yet. Anyway, time to die for final boss time. Ow! That hurt a lot. Now you can see why I took the Berserk ring off. Let's go and hit you here. Now, normally I would set up some buffs and stuff like that, but having Radix out there to kind of control things and having them spam spells is pretty much all you need to do. If Bronix starts using his bow, he's not going to do much of anything. And there's our final boss. Woo! Why do we get experience after a final boss fight? Never did understand that in a lot of games. Well, not a lot, but some games. The Descendants of Mor. So yeah, if you look at it from his perspective, the Rokians are the descendants of Mor because the Mor, the people of Mu, well, they explain more of it. I'll let them do more of the talking. We've already kind of been exposed to part of this information, but apparently the characters are feigning ignorance. There we go. So the Rokians we kind of already knew because we were told that the Morians, the whole continent of Mu, the people or whatever, were thrown through this warp point to the planet of Roke, and there they were the original inhabitants of, or not the original inhabitants, but the inhabitants of the Mor continent, the founders of that continent. But I'll let them explain some more stuff here. Yeah, so we're acknowledging that this anomaly on Earth existed, and they were thrown through a gateway. Some found themselves on Roke, while the others wound up on a desolate planet, that being Fargate. We've already been kind of exposed to some of their natural resources when we were outside there, and I think the Admiral talked about it as well. You'll of course remember this interpretation of the world map. Our world map, not the Roke world map. Yes, that map was true. Artificial monsters. I guess that would be what we saw in the Demon World when we got to the time-space lab, maybe? I'm not too sure. Well, they kind of are at the height of prosperity. You know, I can't see them advancing much beyond that point. Of course, you know, I'm sure there is, but... Now, this only makes sense. You know, he's addressing Marvel here. This makes sense if you watch the sequence that we watched and learn, especially from the PSP version of the game in the Sylvalent Ruins, where we found out that she is using the body of an original, of a Amorian body. A native Rokian. So she's the species that existed on the planet before the original, before the Morians took place. Now I think what's happened here is that it's actually kind of contradictory with the PSP version, and that's just because of the translation. So the idea here is that the body that Marvel is currently in is of a different species than the Rokians, like the Felpool race or the Highlander race, or whatever all of these different races are that we found on the planet of Roke. So yeah, she has the clothes of a Rokian, but a Morian body. Her body is of a descendant of the people of Mu. So yeah, it wasn't contradictory. I was just not reading the entirety of the sentence there. You're gonna kill us, but didn't we already destroy you? How powerless. And we get a variation. Ow! That was painful. Can somebody revive? Thank you. Now let's get... Ow! Now it would be nice if I could get to somebody's turn so that I can start reviving. But nope, I can't. Oh well. I'll end up redoing that so that everyone gets the same amount of experience, because as you can see, we actually get experience for that. But that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Star Ocean. Next time, we will finish up with the rest of the ending and have fun with the finale. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time.